Fans. This is Eric and Rick. This is the Bears Brothers podcast, and I am in Baltimore, Maryland right now to go see the Bears Ravens game live. Rick, how jealous are you?
Very actually. It looks like a beautiful day over there. Looks like a lot of fun. Hope you're having a good time.
Yeah, last night we went to the other side of the harbor over there, had a good time, had a lot of crab cakes and Old Bay seasoning, which is really just the Malort of seasoning,
Yeah,
if
it
we're
really
being
is.
honest. But the Bears are going to be taking on the Ravens at 1 p.m. today. I'm rocking my Gale Sayers jersey right now. I have a lot. I got to tell you, Rick, right off the bat, first down, right? First down. Do the first down like the Bears do. Yep. Clear out. First down. Beautiful. So there's actually like a lot of Chicago Bears fans out here right
Ooh.
now. As we all know, the Bears fans travel really well. Rick, I'm predicting that it's going to be, especially since the Ravens are 1-5 and looking on the down scale. I don't think this is going to be a big, huge home field advantage for the Ravens game this today. What do you think?
No, I think they're going to be taken out of it really quickly, unless this kid Huntley comes out of nowhere and has a great game. Huntley. What's his name? Do we even know?
Huckleberry,
Yeah,
Gardenhoser, who
yeah.
knows?
Uh, I think the only way the Bears lose this game is if they can't stop Derrick Henry at all. If he has 300 yards rushing and 4 TDs, that's the way Baltimore wins this game.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But I think that the good news is that if this was 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the Bears were still having their ultimate struggles with the running game, that would be
Yeah.
a big, huge factor for sure. But since the Bears have been steadily improving every single week, this is a really, really big test for them, and hopefully they can really just establish the fact that they're a good run defense.
Yeah, and I think that'll be helped by our offense scoring. We have to score touchdowns, not field goals this game. That I think is the number one key to this game. If they can get some touchdowns, not field goals, put the Ravens behind, make them one dimensional, have them rely on Huckleberry to get the ball down the field, then I think the Ravens are going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I also think that a Ravens team that is 1-5, it was the emotions were up and down this week, right? As a Bears
Yeah.
fan, because you're thinking of playing a team was 1-5, but you're a 6.5 point underdog, which
Crazy,
was
right?
wild to me. But I was like, okay, is Lamar Jackson coming back? We were a little bit nervous about that, and then we noticed two things: Lamar Jackson was going to come back, and that's two players for the defensive secondary, Gordon and Stevenson, were both out, being
Yeah,
replaced
that's
by
still bad.
McLeod and Blackwell. So, yeah, you were very, very nervous. And now we hear yesterday that Lamar Jackson's not going to be playing.
Yeah.
So now you have something where it's like, okay, cool, we're on the up and up again. We have a pretty good chance. And Vegas even saw it too. Now I think the spread is only 1.5 rather than 6.5 points.
Yeah, last I saw was 3, but yeah, it's been dropping the other way. By the way, don't
Yeah.
McLeod and Blackwell sound like IRS agents? I'm Agent McLeod. This is Agent Blackwell. We're here to service you some paper.
We're the interception retrieval sector. We'll
Yeah.
call it that. The IRS, the interception retrieval sector. Uh, Blackwell, and McLeod.
Attorneys at law.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the Bears Brothers podcast. This is Rick. I'm Eric. Rick right now is in Chicago. I have traveled over to Baltimore, Maryland to go see the Ravens Bears. Rick, I'm going to be interviewing a bunch of Ravens fans and Bears fans along the way. It's going to be a lot of fun. Rick, really quick, I'm going to ask all these fans the same thing. Do you know what a group of Ravens is called?
A murder.
No, that's a
No,
group
the
of
pros.
crows.
The pros, isn't it? I have no idea.
A group of Ravens is called an unkindness. That's it.
That makes sense.
It's not a pack. It's not a pod. It's not a murder. They're just called an unkindness. So
That's
take
that's
that
just
for what
rude.
you will. But the other thing is that a group of bears is called a sloth, which
What?
makes sense because right now the Bears offense is struggling to score touchdowns and they're only getting field goals. And that's because they are actually slowing themselves down, Rick.
Yeah,
Last
the
game,
penalties.
they had 10 penalties for something like 90 yards. And every single time you have anywhere between 80 to 100 yards in penalties, that is worth 7 points. Rick, what are the Bears going to do to kind of calm down all of these penalties? It's a road game, which apparently they're doing better with penalties. Like what has got to change here? What is going on?
I think they have to have more confidence in what they're doing. A lot of their penalties are from false starts, misalignments, things they should be getting done in practice and are not translating into the game for some reason. And I think it's because they're all so hyped up to make the next play. They all know that the plays are out there to make. They know that they were open on this and they were missed. They know that they had a chance to score a touchdown and they didn't, and they got a field goal instead. They know they have a chance to really be an explosive offense, and they're giddy and they're letting that get in the way of just relax, that you know what you're doing. I want to see a lot more like old school 49ers today. I want to see a lot of short passing game. Go to the tight end a bit more. Go to the running back out of the backfield. Get Caleb throwing 70% completion percentage today. Move the ball down the field and keep it out of the Ravens offense off the field. I mean, I know they got Huckleberry quarterback, but they still do have one of the best running backs in the league. Let him sit. Let our defense rest and get ready for that guy. Matriculate the ball down the field. Take 7, 8 minutes to score a touchdown and relax. Enjoy.
Yeah, it's almost like, as you say, the Bears are like a kid in a candy store. They just can't wait to just dive in with their claws into the jar because they know that this play is going to work, and they just don't have the patience. So they're jumping off sides. They're getting false start penalties. They're also getting a lot of BS calls. I think Colston
To be fair,
Loveland,
yeah.
I think that he is getting a lot of BS calls for no reason whatsoever. But I also think I'm calling today. Colston Loveland gets his first touchdown of the season.
Let's
It's
go.
going to be Loveland. He's going to break out. He's going to do his little touchdown dance, and things are going to look up. Rick, what do you think is going to happen? Who do you think is going to have a big day on offense for the Chicago Bears?
I think it's going to be more. I think DJ Moore is really going to have a lot of catches today. I think because if they're doing what I think they're going to do, which is slow down, get the ball down the field, it's Moore who gets open all the time. He could be open in every play. He could be open in a 7 yard little dig route every single play. Get that guy the ball. Get him going. Let everyone else relax. Let the veteran take you down the field.
I love that, especially if you want to have like 5 or 6 yard passes. He's really good at doing that, not actually getting like the big gains or anything right now. And then every once in a while, throw it up to Rome. But I like that. If he had like 8, 9 receptions, somewhere
Yeah.
around there for about
Yeah, for 100
70
yards and a touchdown.
yards,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. A touchdown, that would be great. You give Colston Loveland a touchdown. That's pretty good. Everybody, if you're here right now, hit the like button, please. I'm Eric. I'm in Baltimore right now for the Bears Ravens game. Rick over here is going to stay in Chicago and do his thing there. If you haven't seen our latest video on TikTok, Rick Adamas, the wizard Rick himself, went and predicted a 31-24 victory for the Chicago Bears. Rick, we've just been talking about the fact that Huntley's playing, not Lamar Jackson. You really think that the Bears are going to give up 24 points against the Ravens team, huh?
Well, I think I think the Ravens, especially earlier, their running attack is going to be able to move down the field. I don't think Huntley's throwing 2 or 3 touchdowns. I think Derrick Henry's running them in. But I think once they get behind, if the Bears can score touchdowns instead of field goals, make the game a little more one dimensional, then in the second half, I think that's where you see a turnaround, where the Ravens are trying to throw the ball to catch up, and now they make mistakes. Now there's an interception at Edmonds. There's a tipped ball. There's a fumble. There's a couple more sacks that put them in third and longs. I think if the Bears can get ahead by 10, 14, 17 points somewhere going into the third quarter, the game will be over right then.
I love that. I love that. As I'm walking around the Baltimore Harbor right now, I'm seeing a lot more Bears fans are showing up. They're all very, very happy. Everybody's taking photos on this beautiful harbor, by the way. If you've never
Right.
been to Baltimore, you should definitely come by. A lot of really good food, really good restaurants and bars, enough for all the kids to do something as well, which is pretty cool.
It's up there
Um,
too as one of the best places to see a baseball game. Camden Yards is awesome.
I'm actually walking through Camden Yards on the way to I was about to say Soldier Field, to the Ravens Stadium. It's a nice walkway that they have, and everybody loves it. Camden Yards is definitely one of the best stadiums that there is for sure to see a game. But Rick, one of the things that I liked about your video on TikTok was that you said that the Baltimore Ravens sound pretty desperate, and that
Yeah.
they are going to try everything that they can in order to win this game, which includes trick plays. So trick plays on special teams, trick plays on offense, defense, and everything. Do you see that the Bears coaching staff are going to be prepared for that, or do you think that this up and down with Lamar Jackson, whether he's in or out, is going to be a factor for the Bears not being able to really prepare coaching wise?
I would sure hope that they're always preparing for exciting, crazy plays and special teams, especially with how important that third phase of the game can be. I think it's gonna be more important today because, like I said, I think the Ravens. This is a must-win game. If they have any shot at making the playoffs, they really have to win this game today. I was a little more afraid with Lamar Jackson starting because I was a little more afraid that they would go for it more often on maybe a 4th and 2 or 4th and 3.
Mm.
I wonder if they're going to be that aggressive with this kid and as quarterback, and maybe they will be because again they have to win. So, but I was a little more worried about them being able to convert more often. I was afraid that the what we'd be talking about at the end of the game was that the Ravens were 3-3 on 4th down, and that was a huge factor in the game. And I'm not sure that's going to be as much of a factor anymore. I still would worry about them trying some crazy explosive trick plays, especially in special teams. Because, like I said, if you go 1-6, you're basically saying we can only lose one, maybe two more games, and possibly make the playoffs. And that's the percentage of your chances of doing that go so far down. Especially if Lamar Jackson re-injures his hamstring or has to be out one more week or anything, you know.
Yeah, I think that Lamar Jackson not playing was a result of the fact that they're playing on Thursday nights next week as well.
Play the
So
Dolphins too.
I forget exactly who it was, but still, only 3 days of rest when your
Yeah,
guy is like iffy. So I get it. If I were the Baltimore Ravens, I'd probably do the same thing as well. I agree with the fact that it's trick plays, but I don't see it as many times as special teams. I actually see it when they're on offense. And the reason why is because of the two players that are down for the Chicago Bears. And now they
oh,
have
yeah.
McLeod and Blackwell. However, I think that that would be ill advised for the Baltimore Ravens to do that. Not that they're watching this pod or anything, but the reason why is because McLeod and Blackwell have both been playing a pretty decent amount. It's not like they're just put on there completely green and cold. They've been on the field a lot. McLeod has
You
been on
still
there.
got Brisker back there.
Yeah, you still have Brisker back there. You still have Nashawn Wright, who is getting better and better. But, if you're under the impression that these two defensive backs have no idea what they're doing, I'd second guess that if I were you, Baltimore, and I wouldn't try too many things on offense. I would stick to the special teams trick plays. And it's so interesting that we have the fact that now we're talking about a desperate Baltimore Ravens team when you had
Yeah.
somebody that was supposed to be the MVP in Lamar Jackson. Do you think that the Bears would have any chance if Lamar Jackson was completely healthy and ready to go this week?
No. I mean, especially with so many players missing on defense. Let's say we had Jalen Johnson and we had Stevenson and we had Gordon. That'd give us a puncher's chance of winning in a shootout if Caleb had the game of his life. But with all of those players missing on defense, and we're not even sure yet if Swift is playing or not. I think he is, but there was questions about him coming into the game too. So the running game for the Bears might be a little suspect. They would have had no shot against Lamar Jackson, especially if he was 100% healthy and able to run around the field.
Yeah, definitely. Kyle Proctor says, well, first of all, Jackie Latimer says, top of the morning, brothers, and continuing the nice work. Thumbs up and bear down, brothers, and another thumbs up. So thank you, Jackie, for that. And Kyle Proctor says, do you feel that the Ravens, Rick, are contenders right now? They're 1-5, desperate team. What do you think?
And the only way is if Jackson comes back on Thursday night, like you said, and they go on a tear. That's the only way. That's the only way they're still contenders. Because I think they could still play against the Bills and the Chiefs in the AFC. But if he's still injured at all, they got no shot. I mean, the
Yeah,
difference between him and their backup is the difference between a D1 and a D2 school. You know,
right. I'm going to flip this on the other side too. And I'm going to ask the same thing about the Bears because here's what I want Bears fans to kind of temper their expectations a little bit. Because, yes,
sure.
the Bears are 4-2, and you can tell that a culture of feeling good about themselves and doing a lot of the good things. However, look at the teams that they've beaten. They
Yeah,
beat the Las Vegas Raiders.
by a point.
They beat the man. Why am I drawing blanks? The Commanders. They
By a
beat
point.
the Cowboys without CD Lamb.
Yep.
And then who was the other team that they beat? I can't remember.
The Aints.
Oh, the Saints, who are just a dumpster fire of a team, and everybody thinks that they're going to finish last in the entire league. So
And they
they
look
haven't really beaten.
sloppy beating that team.
Yeah, they haven't really beaten anybody very good. And even if the Bears prevail today against the Ravens, Lamar Jackson-less, Rick, do you think that the Bears are a contender for the playoffs? Do you think that they're a contender in the NFC? What are your thoughts?
I think they could be a contender to make the playoffs, and that would be about as far as I think they would go. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that they have a couple other games coming up here that aren't terribly stressful, and then they have a bunch of division games. And as we know, division games kind of go, I mean, the Packers were so great last year, and yet the Bears beat them once and almost beat them twice, were not for a blocked field goal. And I think the Vikings are on the downslide too. So, do I think the Bears can finish 9-8, 10-7, and make the playoffs? Sure. Do I think they have any shot of winning a playoff game after that? Probably not. Maybe one, maybe, but definitely not going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it might be like the overachieving kind of factor if they did win
Yeah.
a playoff game. And again, we weren't expecting that at all for them to even like make the playoffs. I think you had them at 8-9. I had them at
Yeah.
9-8, but missing the playoffs. So we're still kind of like right there teetering. But we have a tough schedule too.
Yeah.
After the Ravens game, we have a lot of playoff teams that we have to go against.
If I remember correctly, the next two aren't so bad. It's like the Browns and somebody else. I can't remember who it is off the top of my
We
head.
got the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, that's right.
But here's the thing that is really encouraging is you look at the rest of the schedule, Rick, and the Bears right now are establishing that they are a defense that can take away the ball and they
Hmm.
can have a strong running game.
Yep.
You're starting to have the three-headed monster that is in the welcomes you down to the underworld, right? You got Roshan Johnson, Kyle Monungai, and DeAndre Swift just ready to bust some heads running the
Yeah.
ball, which is really important for when the temperature starts to change and the weather starts to get bad. And you look at the rest of the schedule, Rick, the Bears only play one more indoor game, and that's in Minnesota.
Yeah.
After that, they play the Packers both outdoors. They play the Lions in Chicago. They play the Bengals and the Steelers, both outdoor games. So every single game that they have right now are outdoors, and that's a perfect time to have this kind of culture, this kind of identity as a
Yeah.
team to get you through the slogfest that is this schedule.
Well, I mean, talk about a change of culture. If they win today, they'll tie how many games they won last year, which is crazy, right? Like,
That is wild. That is wild. And that would be fun, really, really fun to see live in Baltimore right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Making
I
that
think,
trip home because I got a 5.5 hour ride back up to Connecticut. And if it's a win, it's going to be great. If it's a loss, it's going to be just, especially if it's like an ugly
sloth.
loss.
It's going to be a sloth ride home if you lose.
Ah, yes. Nice. Very, very good. But if it's a win, it's going to be an unkindness for the Ravens. If you have no
Yeah.
idea what we're talking about, that's what a group of Ravens is called. They're called an unkindness. And a group of Bears is called a sloth. So anyway, Rick, again, about the rest of the schedule, they're playing a lot of playoff teams. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, like I said, I think they could pull out a few of those wins and still finish at 9-8, 10-7. I think they could. Do I think they're going to? Probably not. I still think really good about my 8-9 prediction.
Right, right. Yeah, 8-9. I still say 9-8 because I don't think Ben Johnson's going to have a losing season for as long as he's the Chicago Bears head coach, kind of like a Mike Tomlin. If you're in the chat right now, please leave a like. Also, make a comment because I'm going to be interviewing some Baltimore Ravens fan going in. Let me know what kind of questions you want to ask them. Rick, what kind of questions should I ask Baltimore Ravens fans as I'm going into the stadium?
I think we should ask him the same question that our fan asked. Do you think that you still have a chance? Like, do you think that if you win today or if you lose today, do you think you're still a contender?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And
Definitely. Just
how will you feel about your team if they somehow win this game today, Lamar Jacksonless? Or how will you feel about your team today if they lose? Will it change anything?
Yep, yep. I also like the idea of just asking fans, who's going to win and why, right? Just like a
Great.
short,
Yeah.
like Ravens are going to win. Why? Because the Bears suck. Okay, cool. Whatever it is.
You're
So,
gonna get a lot of.
yeah, it's or because I'm wearing my lucky scarf, stuff like that. So, it's definitely going to be an interesting game. Rick, how do you see this game going on? I know that you've already made a prediction before, but what do you think is actually going to happen? Bears Ravens at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:30 Central. What are we going to be talking about with the way that this game went?
I think it's going to be a back and forth struggle in the first half. And I hope that the Bears will pull ahead in the third quarter by scoring more touchdowns and field goals, putting the Ravens into a one dimension offense where they get away from running Derrick Henry, which will be very successful in the first half of the game. They're going to put the game on the shoulders of Huckleberry, try to run some trick plays. Hopefully, they get stuffed and the Bears pull away for a victory.
Love that. Love that. I see a team that's desperate to win a game at 1-5. And I see a team that, if no matter what, if they're professionals or not, you are going to, you're going to see a pretty similar game as it was last week. The Bears are going to come out quick and strong. They're going to be up by a few scores. Then the refs are going to try to keep the game close because they don't want the Baltimore Ravens to go 1-6. They'd rather see that team have a chance at going to the playoffs when Lamar Jackson gets healthy.
Yeah.
So you're going to see them kind of crawl back a little bit, but at the end, the not the discipline, the lack of discipline, the lack of winning culture. It sounds like to me that they're a little bit tired of Harbaugh as coach, and the Bears are going to pull away again and score touchdowns rather than field goals. I actually see also a 7-point victory for the Bears. I see a 28 to 20, 21 kind of game, and it's going to be pretty comfortable throughout.
Man, I sure hope so. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah. Asking that, so Mooney said, asking that in a Bears uni might get you punched in the face. I don't know what he's referring to. Is he referring to you asking if the Ravens win or lose, how are you going to feel about Lamar? I feel like that's a pretty decent question to ask.
Yeah, I can't imagine any Ravens fan feels bad about Lamar other than the fact that he's not playing. Well,
Yeah,
unless he's in the playoffs, then you have a whole different discussion about how you feel
yeah.
about Lamar Jackson.
I also feel like you're looking around right now, and yeah, it's still in the morning in the Baltimore Harbor. You got some live music going on, but you're not seeing a whole heck of a lot of like, oh, these are two big playoff teams going after each other, and so like
Oh
the
no,
tensions are really really high. I feel like this is like the last game that you get before the weather goes bad and it's still really nice out. So I think that if you ask simple questions like that, I don't think you're going to get a whole lot of hostility right now, especially since the Baltimore Ravens are 1-5 and they're without their quarterback.
yeah, I think you're gonna like get. I think you're gonna get a lot of quick answers. Bears suck, this and that. Quote the Raven.
Quote the Raven. Nice. Nice. Very, very good.
Literally,
We actually
literally topics.
let's see. Let's go off a couple more comments here, and then we'll say goodbye. Ravens suck. As a diehards Packers fan, I see Chicago with the victory. Okay, Miller time. Let's go.
Now, if
Uh,
that happens too, and because the Packers are playing Pittsburgh today, the Bears could very well be vaulting into first place in the division by the end of the day. I forget who Detroit's playing.
I don't know where they're playing though. If they're playing against Pittsburgh or Green Bay, I feel like that's a big determining factor, considering
Yeah,
that both teams are really good. And if you have like a really really big crowd helping you out in those kind of games, then that's going to be a huge factor for me. But either way, I don't think that the Ravens are necessarily like a terrible team. I just think that they're a little dysfunctional, and they've
sure.
got a lot going against them. They still have some good wide receivers. They still have
Oh yeah.
Derrick Henry. They
Oh
still
yeah.
have Roquan Smith coming back in the middle. So it's not like
Yeah.
this is going to be a pushover game by
No.
any means. But I feel like with Dennis Allen, with Ben Johnson, they're in a place where they can actually keep things under control, and that's why I feel that they could take advantage of those injuries.
Yeah, I think so too. I think especially playing against a rook quarterback coming off the practice squad, Dennis Allen's going to have some things that he's never seen before that is going to confuse the living bejesus out of him and make him throw into some mistakes.
Some mistakes by the interception receiving sector of McLeod and Blackwell.
Attorneys at law.
Attorneys at law. I feel like, okay, let's make a prediction right now. Like you predicted a couple special teams fakery and trickery.
By
I'm
Baltimore, yeah.
predicting a Colston Loveland touchdown. I'm also going to see an interception by either McLeod or Blackwell.
And if
And
they
then,
do, the whole team's going to go nuts when that happens. They are going to
yep,
go insane if one of those guys gets an INT.
absolutely, absolutely. We also, just
Unless
to let you
unless it's
know,
garbage time.
just to let you know before we leave here, we also have some merchandise that's going to be coming out for the Bears Brothers podcast. My wife made and created something pretty darn special for Bears fans out there. Also, we made it, Rick. We actually have a sponsor now that we're going to be, let's just say, putting on this week. So it's official. It's not Malort, even
No,
though
we
we've
tried.
been
We
trying.
tried. We'll keep trying.
We will keep trying, Malort. But the last comment that I'm going to read right here is we are going to win. The Chicago Bears, real talk, the Chicago Bears have been playing better defense than the Baltimore Ravens, and that's facts. We are better on defense. Enjoy. All right. I like that a lot. I feel like Roquan Smith is going to be a big difference maker for the Ravens. And I don't see too much of a downturn from this Bears secondary. I agree with you. I think the Bears defense and the Bears offense have an edge
Yeah, I agree with
against the
that.
other side of the ball, and I think it's going to be a Bears victory. So, Rick, man, enjoy. What do you got? You have anybody coming over for the game or anything like that?
No, but my wife is making French dip sandwiches, so we're excited.
Ooh,
Yeah.
very nice. Very nice. I'm going to steal some tailgating food from some people. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's what
Yeah,
I like to
trade
do.
them for Malort. See how that goes for you.
Trade it for Malort. Yeah.
Yeah.
If only I brought Malort nips with me. That would be great. I need to take some more notes for next time.
Yeah. Don't travel without Malort. What are you doing?
I don't know. Well, the funny thing is, I think they would take it away at the airport. Or if I was flying, and be like, "What is this? It's Malort, sir." Yeah, okay. We're no. This does. This is definitely something different.
We need this to fly the plane. So I
Yeah.
think that's it.
Yeah. All right, everybody. In the meantime, we both predict the Bears to go now 5-2, and the Ravens are going to be 1-6 at about 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central. I am looking at Camden Yards right now down
Wow.
here. Orioles Park. We're in Baltimore. It's going to be a great time. Nice 60-degree day, beautiful sunshine weather. And let's hope that in about 4 hours, 5 hours, what is it, 10:45? About 6 hours from now, we're going to be singing the Bear fight song, and the Bears will be 5-2. Rick, any
Bear
parting last
down.
words?
Yeah, bear down. That's my parting last words. Let's have some fun.
Love it. Love it. Okay, guys, until next time, we'll see you later. In the meantime, the Bears Brothers podcast, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and subscribe over here on YouTube. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week. Bear down.
Bear down.